Happy Saturday evening / Sunday morning for most of you that'll watch my show tomorrow. It's that time of week again, our favorite time. Time to go over some races for the Sunday card and give out some picks. We've given some out. I'm happy with some of those, but I can definitely do better, and we're hoping to do that this week. First post 2 o'clock as usual. 9 races again, as usual. Cheers to a happy Saturday, and hopefully a happier Sunday tomorrow. Let's get started. Race 1 is a 1.16 miles on the turf. It's an allowance claiming event. Allowance claiming $80,000, purse $62,000. So let's get started. Number 1 is Kazan. Kazan is 4-1 morning line. Martin Garcia is the jockey. Simon Callahan is the trainer. This horse earned a 102 Beyer speed figure last out, which he won. Was a maiden special weight, 60,000. This is a step up, but coming off a win, you definitely like the direction that horse is going. All this horse's starts have been on turf. It's a turf horse, and had some good works. He's gonna probably be coming from off the pace, a little bit back. Like I said, that one win last race is his only win, so hopefully that means he is a step in the right direction. So let's move on now. Number 2 is Zestful. 4-1 morning line. Rafael Bejarano is the jockey. Doug O'Neill is the trainer. This horse got a 99 Beyer speed figure last out, ran third. 2 starts back, won on a synthetic surface. Horses never run on turf, but a lot of times the synthetic carries over to the turf better than the dirt does. So look out for that. Been working pretty decent. This horse is going to be up near the lead, and has one more career win than number 1. Has 2 career wins. So you like that. Sort of knows how to win compared to most of these. So take a look at him. Number 3 is Pepe Tono. 5-1 morning line. Giovanni Franco is in the irons. Victor Garcia is the trainer, which makes this horse extra interesting to me. I love that. I love Victor Garcia. My grandma was very good friends with him. I'll always look out for him as a trainer. He doesn't train a ton of horses like these other guys, but when he does put them out there, especially Del Mar, he likes their chances a lot of the time. This horse got a 99 Beyer speed figure last out, 101 2 back. Both were in the allowance claiming race, which is the same as this race. Been working really, really good. It's going to probably be sitting mid-pack just to make that one move. Horse has 1 win in his career. A lot of these horses have 1 or 2, maybe 3 wins. This horse runs its best races longer, which obviously this race is a 1.16 miles. We like that. So definitely give this horse a second look. Last 2 starts have been on turf, so not a total new scene to him. So check him out. I'm probably going to be putting him in some sort of my bets, partially because of the trainer, but this horse also looks good, in good recent form. Number 4 is True Loyalty, 3-1 morning line. Alberto Figueroa is the rider. James Pavito is the trainer. 106 Beyer speed figure was the last one, which I believe is the highest in the race coming out of the last race. That was also an allowance claiming company. Horse isn't the most consistent, but runs very, very well when it's on or near the lead throughout the race. So look for that. If he's up there, he's got a good shot. Hasn't won in a while, but doesn't mean he doesn't know how to. Does have that 1 career win. Most of his starts have been on the turf. One thing I do like is he's been gelded since June 16th. Also gets the weight break with Herberto Figueroa on him, but gelded since June 16th. That's 2 starts. This will be his 2nd start since being gelded. Sometimes that makes a difference for these horses. Number 5 is Magic Musketeer. 5-1 morning line. Drayden Van Dyke is the trainer. Jerry Hollendorfer is the I'm sorry, Drayden Van Dyke is the rider. Jerry Hollendorfer is the trainer. 100 and 102 Beyer speed figures in the last two, running well. Allowance claiming races were those races. Has 2 career wins. All races have been on the turf, so not a stranger to turf. Working very well, and has been facing some good horses in the past. So give this horse a big shot. Moving over to number 6, 5-2 morning line favorite is Jimmy Chilla. Mario Gutierrez in the irons for Ron Ellis. Coming off a win on opening day, which is always good, about 3 weeks ago. So that gives the horse enough time to kind of recover. Got a 98 Beyer speed figure that day. Mario Gutierrez is staying aboard not only for tomorrow, but or today for some reason, but has been aboard every single start. So great jockey trainer combo. First turf start was last race, and has had some decent works. He's going to be up close. He's going to be right there in the mix early, ready to pounce whenever the time comes. Definitely going to be a tough horse to beat. All right. That does it for race 1. We'll move on to race 2 here. This race is a mile on the dirt. It's a claiming race, 20 to 18,000, and the purse is $30,000. So, number 1 is Preacher Row. This horse is not in good form. Probably not a horse to include. The only thing that he has going for him is Martin Pedrosa, Jack Carava have been a duo for so long. It's been a jockey trainer combo that's been very successful for a long time. Not as successful more recently, but can never get not give a double look to that jockey trainer combo. Horse is probably not in the greatest form, like I said. Is going to be closer on the lead, which you like with Martin Pedrosa in the irons anyway. Could find somewhere to put him in some exotics, maybe, because of that jockey trainer combo, but just not in the greatest form right now. Number 2 is Carvel, 3-1 morning line. Heriberto Figueroa is in the irons. Jorge Perban is the trainer. 107 and 110 Beyer speed figures, the last 2 starts, in good form. 4 career wins. Only wins Duke are up north, though, which is not terrible, but you always tend to find that the competition is a little bit better down here than it is up north. So sometimes you take more away from that than other times. But definitely in good form. So got to definitely give that horse another look. Number 3 is Senator Robert, 8-1 morning line. Evan Roman is in the irons. Bob Hess is the trainer. Senator Roberts had a tough year. Not a bad horse at all. Not a great year. 94 Beyer speed figure last out. Just raced 14 days ago. Had some decent works. It's going to be up near the pace. He's going to be up near the pace. I don't love when horses run back 14 days or even less sometimes here at Del Mar, because the trainers and owners always want to get a win here. Got to say you won at Del Mar. So you do see it kind of a lot, but I don't love it. I think that more times than not the horses come up a little short. They're a little less on their toes. So yeah. So that's the 3. Number 4 is Dukes Up. Now, Dukes Up is one of my top picks here. 5-2 morning line. Kent Desormeaux is in the irons for Steve Miotti. 1-2 starts back. Having a good year, good works. I'm gonna be just laying mid pack, ready to pounce whenever somebody starts to give way. I love the form that Dukes Up is in, and should get a pretty decent trip today. All right. So, number 5 is Macho Gabacho. Love the name. One of my favorite names of the day. Drayden Van Dyke is the rider. Keith DeSormo is the trainer. Kind of interesting that Kent DeSormo didn't ride aboard for his brother, which he normally does. But anyway, has had some decent works. Has never lost by more than 2 lengths in his last 6 starts. Definitely always in the mix. And this year has been a really good year also, and has won some races. Also going to be probably laying mid-pack, maybe a little closer than we think, just because there's not a ton of speed in this race. Maybe want to stay a little bit closer, get the jump on some of these other horses. Number 6 is Muchos Besos, another great name. 5-1 morning line. Matt Garcia's aboard with Javier Sierra. Matt Garcia doesn't ride a ton of horses anymore, at least, but he's been on this horse for most of the starts. Stays aboard, obviously, for this one. 3 wins out of 6 starts this year. That's pretty good, 50% in a year. I know we're only about a little over halfway, but that's still really good. And the last 5 Beyer speed figures, last 5 races have been no lower than 98. It's going to be up close. This is the horse. This is one of those horses that could get up there and just steal the race. But we will see. Number 7 is Crown the Kitten. Crown the Kitten is 7-2 morning line. Alciel Espinosa is the rider. Gus Headley is the trainer. 110 Beyer speed figure last out. Very strong. Hasn't won in the last 2 years, though. Does have the weight break with Asa Espinosa in the irons. Probably going to be hanging out mid-pack throughout the race, trying to make that move. Has been facing a lot better over the last year, even more than a year. So I do see the class break helping a bit, which is why this horse is 7-2 morning line. But just you wonder if it remembers how to win exactly. So that's the field for race 2. Let's move on to race 3. Moving right along here. 6.5 furlongs is this one. This is the 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. This is the Rancho Bernardo handicap, the 6.5 furlong sprint. One of the bigger races, a prep race for the big sprint race later in the meet. And it's the Rancho Bernardo $100,000 grade. I believe it's a grade 3. Yeah, grade 3. It's for fillies and mares, so girls. And this is a pretty big race. Number 1 is Turkish Tabby, 15-1 morning line. Mario Gutierrez with Jerry Hollendorfer as the trainer. Coming out of a grade 2. Didn't do great. Might have been a little too much of a class jump there for her, but this also might be a little too much for her too. Does way better close to the lead. If she doesn't get the lead, she pretty much is uninterested throughout the race, or close to the lead. And once again, hasn't won in over 2 years. So you're gonna find it hard to come to this horse, but definitely still a good horse. Uvetzi is 6-1. Tyler Bays is the rider. John Sadler is the trainer. Remember, this horse ran against Unique Bella. Ran okay. Definitely fits better here. Would much rather run a shorter distance than the Clement L. Hirsch was. And on the best races that this horse has had throughout his career has been sprinting. So this is better along those lines. I just don't love coming back after 2 weeks. I think it might even be less. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks exactly, I believe. I struggle to make that horse stay in a graded stakes company, but also run his top race after just running 2 weeks ago, and didn't put a ton of effort in. Didn't give it its all, but still, that's a long race, and I just don't know if I could see him doing it there. But this is definitely a classy horse. Alright, let me just double check here. Okay. So number 3 is Anonymity. If you remember this horse is also coming back off of a short layoff. 2 weeks or a little bit more than 2 weeks. I believe it was 2 weeks actually. 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow, and today, Sunday. 8-5 morning line. An impressive horse. Flavien Prat has got a good horse underneath him here. Richard Mandel is the trainer. This horse won 3 out of 4 lifetime starts. Last race was very impressive here. And Flav actually missed that race. He was on board the first 2 races, and then the first 3 jumped off that one last race. So never been worse than 103 Beyer speed figure, and 2 for 2 at Del Mar. There's a lot going for this horse. Going to be very, very, very short odds, and it might be his race to lose. Her race to lose. I apologize. Number 4 is Sky Diamonds, 9-5 morning line. Tiago Pereira, Bill Spar is the trainer. Hasn't won in a year, but been facing better horses overall. This will be a little bit of a class relief, although still a great race. Really loves the track. Had a tough year, but this track could end up making it up for this horse in this race. And been working really well. This horse is going to be right up there, closer on the lead even, depending how the rest of the horses get out of there. Number 5 is Deer Valley, 12-1. Drayden Van Dyke, Thomas Proctor. This horse is very interesting to me. 12-1 morning line. I love the price. Only run once this year. This is the second start off the layoff. Runs best when on the lead. Has been working really well. Has never run over this track in a race. So there's that. But just a very good horse overall. Very classy horse. Getting 117 pounds in this handicap race. Definitely a horse to look at, if not to win, definitely in your exotics. That horse is going to be in the mix when it's all said and done. Number 6 is Moonshine Memories. Flavie gets off this horse, and Mike Smith gets the call. Simon Callahan is the trainer. This horse is best when sprinting, so that's good here. 103 Beyer speed figure last out. Which is a very good number. Loves the Del Mar track. Does most of its damage at the Del Mar track. And, like I said, Flavie left this horse for Anonymity, the talented youngster, number 3. So I definitely put stock into that, considering I know how good the 3 is. Plus he left. There a lot more would go into that. But still a really good horse, and this horse can definitely win the race if things set up well. All right, moving right along. We're on to race number 4. It's 5.5 furlongs on the dirt, and it's a beaten claiming race, 16,000 to 14,000. Number 1 is Coalinga Hills. And Santiago Gonzalez is the rider, and Martin Jones is the trainer. Coming off a second place finish at right about this same level. Never run at Del Mar. Coming from off the pace, he's gonna need a little something to run at, but definitely could get a ground saving trip out of that one hole, and been running at this level, so definitely not in over his head or anything. All right. By the way, these horses have only won one race. All these horses in this race. All right. Number 2 is She's a Factor. Heriberto Figueroa, Peter Miller is the trainer. What a deadly combo. These two have been, what a deadly trainer Peter Miller has been on sprints mostly, but just this meet, Peter Miller has been absolutely on fire. Never leave his horses out of anything, really. And this horse is coming off a 2-length win, firing right back. Never won at Del Mar. Going to be up very close to the lead, if not on the lead, which is where Peter Miller would love to see his horse. Give that horse a good look. Number 3 is Bragging Rights. 4-1 morning line. Asa Espinosa. John Sadler is the trainer, coming off a 5-length win last out. This horse did beat number 3. I'm sorry. Unbelievable. I think I just put this horse beat number 3 in last start, and he is number 3. Never mind. Never run at Del Mar. 89 buyer last out. Should be up close to the lead, knocking on the door as they turn for home. Definitely got a good shot in this one with the weight break also with Asa Espinosa. Number 4 is Ladies War Dress. 20-1 morning line. Edgar Payeras up here from Gulfstream, I believe he was riding at before. Bobby Grayson is the trainer. Edgar's a good rider, just hasn't really got worked in here yet. This horse hasn't won since his first start of his career. Has had some decent works. I just don't think this horse is in the right form to win this race. I don't give the 4 too much of a chance in this one. Number 5 is Cylinders. Flavian Pratt is aboard. Cylinders is 7-2 morning line, by the way. Andy Mathis is the trainer. I don't know if this horse has something against the track or it's just been the timing of the wins and losses, but does not run particularly well at this track usually. Has been working pretty well. Flavian does stay aboard, which is, you take that as encouraging news. But there always is something to say about a horse that has won and run well in other races, but doesn't tend to run well here at Del Mar. So definitely something to look at. Take a look at the odds, see how much they go up or down, and kind of play it by that. Number 6, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Love the name. Brian Pena is aboard. 20-1 morning line. Van Belvar is the trainer. Hasn't won in about a year and a half or so. Pena does stay aboard. You like the confidence, the rider staying aboard. The race that this horse coming out of was a pretty much identical race, and he didn't run well. So no reason. I mean, I don't know if you would think that he would run any better this time, but I don't, and I'm probably gonna end up leaving him out. Number 7, Neon Gypsy. 3-1 morning line. Raff is in the irons. Gary Sherlock is the trainer. Hasn't won since the first start of his career, but has been facing better ever since that first win. They were kind of ambitious with him, so has been facing better. I'll give him that. Has gotten some good buyer speed figures in his last races. Working pretty decently, and Raff jumps aboard, so you can never go wrong with that. Number 8 is No Wine Untasted. Love the name. 6-1 morning line. Martin Pedrosa, Eric Crueljack is the trainer. This horse is absolutely, I give this horse a shot. Martin Pedrosa in the irons, coming off a nice win, going to be up towards the lead. I love Pedrosa on the lead with a good horse. With any talent whatsoever on the lead with him, he does well with that a lot of the time. So I would suggest putting this horse in something that you got on Sunday. All right, so that's 4 races down. I believe we have 5 to go. Race number 5 is 1 mile on the turf. It's a maiden race. The purse is $60,000. I would pretty much say this race is full of young and talented horses. Usually, a lot of them pretty expensive, not a ton of experience. But let's see how we do. All right, number 1 is Magnificent McCool. Great name. 9-2 morning line. Doug O'Neill, Rafael Bejarano. Doug O'Neill's the trainer, Rafael Bejarano. Great combo. This horse is going to be closer to the pace this time than he was last time, which is going to help him. Bejarano stays aboard, getting accustomed to him. And this horse has very good bloodlines. Giant's Causeway and Mineshaft are in the blood. And I feel like this horse is going to show more than he did in his first start. Only has 1 start in his career. All right, this horse is Rijeka, number 2. 5-1 morning line. Mario Gutierrez, Richard Baltas is the trainer. This horse also has just 1 race under his belt. It was over in Ireland, which the race that he ran in was equivalent to about Maiden Special Weight Company, which this horse definitely fits here then. This is the horse's first time in the States though, and I like 2 or 3 times, kind of like off a layoff, 2 or 3 times to get accustomed to everything here. So probably going to stay away, but definitely has a shot for sure. Number 3 is Biz Nasty. Love the name. 4-1 morning line. Drayden Van Dyke is the rider. Mike McCarthy is the trainer. Ran here at Del Mar for his very first start. Right back in 2 weeks. Don't know if I mind as much when it's a young horse with just one. That was his first start. 2 weeks back. Probably recovering really easily because he's so young. Has had some really decent works. So definitely don't take your eye off of that one either. The 3 definitely has a good chance. Number 4 is Go Daddy Go. Tiago Pereira is the rider. Brian Corner is the trainer. This horse had a really good work here on August 1st. This is a great trainer for this race. Brian Corner does well with these horses. This horse has really good bloodlines. Scat Daddy and Speightstown in the blood. That's good. That's in his favor. And so yeah, the 4 definitely has a chance. Number 5, Ready to Forgive. Joe Talamo is the rider. Ian Wilkes is the trainer. You love that Joe Talamo's on board, especially that this race is on the turf. Does ship from the Midwest. His first start was at Arlington Park. Been working pretty well. And you do like the fact that he has 1 start, and Talamo jumps on the turf. Definitely give this horse a look. Number 6 is Tikkum Olam. Tikkum Olam. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but Tyler Bays is aboard. Eric Kruljack is the trainer. 20-1 morning line. Eric Kruljack isn't necessarily known for first-time starters. Getting them home usually takes a few for him. This is a first-timer. Does have really solid works though, so getting that 20-1 morning line, maybe you throw him in some exotics and get some money out of that. Number 7, Springs Eternal. 20-1 morning line. Evan Roman, Richard Mandela. Richard Mandela always does well with young horses early in their career. He's had some pretty good works, and these bloodlines are absolutely ridiculous with Hard Spun and Unbridled Song. You love those bloodlines, can't go wrong with that. 20-1 morning line. So those aren't necessarily win early horses, those sires, but that's in the blood, and you never know. So if you check on the odds as you're there, if they start to float down closer to 10, maybe you want to put them in something. Race 8, Easy Keeper. Number 8, Easy Keeper. 20-1 morning line. Tyler Connor is in the irons. Doug O'Neill is the trainer. Has some decent bloodlines. Works are okay. I don't really love this horse as far as on paper, obviously. With firsters, you don't really get to know really much of that. But I just don't. On paper, it just doesn't look up to par as far as the other horses look. Number 9 is Knight's Cross. Kent Desormeaux for Keith Desormeaux, just like normal, which is way better what we're used to. Has 1 start previous to this. This is a Mizzen-Mast product, and I love it. Mizzen-Masts do so well at Del Mar, and just last week or the week before, I gave you guys a horse that was a Mizzen-Mast product that was a little bit of an upset. And they love this. They love this track. They also love they don't just love the dirt, they love the turf course also. The stretch out should really help this horse. I feel like this horse is going to really, really appreciate that, and definitely keep your eye on number 9 in this race. Number 10 is King of Speed. Gary Stevens aboard. Jeff Bondy is the trainer. This horse has the most experience in the race. This will be his 4th race, so 3 races prior to this. Gary Stevens has been aboard for all of them. This is the horse's 2nd time running a mile. Before there was 2 sprints, and so might help with the conditioning, and this horse might just do a little bit better. Is breaking from that 10 hole, which is a disadvantage, but going to be pressing the pace, and we'll see if he has enough coming for home. Alrighty, let's move on to race number 6. We're doing great. Alright, cheers. Cheers to race 6. Race 6, number 1 is Palace Painter. 8-1, Franklin I'm sorry, race 6 is 6 furlongs on the dirt. That was rude of me. 6 furlongs on the dirt, claiming a claiming race, 12.5 to 10.5 thousand. The purse is $23,000. Number 1 is Palace Painter. 8-1 morning line. Franklin Ceballos is the jockey, and Reed Saldana is the trainer. This horse has had a pretty good year. Has had 2 wins this year. Been working well in the mornings. The last race he lost, got in a speed duel, kind of faded after that. There was a lot of speed in that race. So definitely a horse to keep your eye on, for sure. Number 2 is Marcella, 7-2 morning line. Alberto Figueroa in the irons. Peter Miller. Yes, this is a 6 furlong sprint with Peter Miller and Heriberto Figueroa as a combo, dropping down in class a little bit. Won last time. That it was even close. That whenever it was close to this level last running, you're gonna be up towards the lead. Yes, I see everything you see. I'm probably gonna hammer this horse. This horse looks good. Number 3 is 12-1 Spirit of Shanghai. Shanghai Bobby is the daddy. Edwin Maldonado is the rider. Louis Mendez is the trainer. Been facing better since that first start win. It's going to probably be coming from off the pace, mid-pack, kind of waiting for those first moves to play out, and then see if he can come rolling late. Number 4 is Chief's Little Pearl. We have Kelly McDade in the irons, an apprentice female jockey, which we love to see female jockeys out there getting out there with the men. Patricia Harrington is the trainer. This horse is, has never run at Del Mar. Has 8 wins and 13 8 first and seconds and 13 lifetime starts. Definitely knows how to be in the mix. I just don't know if coming out of races similar to this, but not running at the same level. And they're fairly similar, but I see this horse probably not matching up totally right with these horses, but does get the weight break and definitely knows how to be in the mix, so keep your eye on him. Number 5 is Atrevida. 4-1 morning line. This is Flavien Prat and Doug O'Neill here. Do not overlook them. Some pretty decent buyer speed figures. I see this horse has been running a mile the last couple outs, so definitely going to shorten up here. And that's gonna put this horse probably on the lead, on or near the lead. And so he's basically gonna probably say, "Come and get me." I like this horse a lot. This and the Peter Miller horse a lot really intrigued me in this race. Number 6 is 20-1 Millie Joel. Millie Joel is a veteran. Millie Joel has never won at Del Mar, has 2 starts here at Del Mar. Hasn't won a lot in her career. Millie Joel has only won once, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, one time in her career. Doesn't really know how to win all that well. It was a mile race, and it was a maiden claiming 20,000, which says that she could maybe win here, but that was a while ago. Breaks just don't seem to go her way right now. Number 7 is Smart Rachel, 20-1 morning line. Edgar Payeras is in the irons, gets the 5-pound apprentice weight break, and it has been aboard the last 3 starts. Has Edgar ran here on the 28th of Del Mar. I'm sorry, the 28th of July at Del Mar, and didn't show much that day. Before then at Los Alamitos, though, it did win, coming off a win by 6 lengths, or a maiden claiming 20,000. So, you see the potential there, but I just don't know if you can put it all together. Number 8 is Avail, 10-1. Tiago Pereira in the irons. Brian Corner is the trainer. Brian Corner does well with these. He's going to be moving turf to dirt here, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting this other horse mixed up. But Brian Corner does well with these. This is Avail. Avail ran here on the 22nd of July in a claiming $20,000 race. Lost by double-digit lengths, so dropping down a little bit here. And hopefully that will make the difference in a possible win, and also stretching out a little bit. Number 9 is We Will Rejoice, 3-1 morning line. Asa Espinosa is in the irons. We look at Bill Morey as the trainer. You get the 5-pound weight break for the apprentice rider Asa. Coming off a win, that was up in Sacramento. Amir Cedillo was the riding up there. This horse has been running up at Golden Gate for its last very many handful of starts. So moving down here to Del Mar is going to be a little bit tougher competition, but should do pretty well, coming off of, looks like 3 straight wins up in the NorCal. Number 10 is Empress of Love, 5-1 morning line. Joe Talamo is in the irons. Gary Sherlock is the trainer. This is a horse that you can fall in love with the trainer and jockey in there together. But try not to fall too in love with this. He hasn't performed very well in a level that's just above this. So I don't know how a little drop down is going to make that big of a difference. But definitely a horse to watch. Watch the odds, see how the bettors are playing this horse. All right. Let's move on to race number 7. Race number 7 is a 5-furlong short sprint on the dirt. The purse is $60,000. This is for maidens, horses who have never won. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to take a quick peek here. I believe every single one of these horses, yep, number 1 through number 10 is a first-time starter. So not only have they not won, obviously, but they've never raced in a live race like this before. So not a ton to say. Number 1 is Absolute Control, 20-1 morning line. Has decent bloodlines with Shackelford, Grace of Hearts as the mother. The works have been pretty good. Seems to be liking things in the mornings. Giovanni Franco is the rider. James DeVito is the trainer. Not a ton there. Not necessarily known, the trainer known for putting out first-time starters and doing terribly well with them. But definitely, and with the first-time starters on the rail, I don't really love that. I'm probably gonna throw the 1 out. Number 2 is 20-1 Running with Scissors. Running with Scissors has Mario Gutierrez aboard with George Papadramou. Great bloodlines. Mornings have been really good to this horse. The works have been really, really good. I really like them. Probably gonna be sneaking through up on the rail, up or near to the pace. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't have a lot to say about these horses. They're first-time starters. You don't really know what they're gonna do, but you look at their works maybe, and their bloodline. Maybe trainers with firsters that are good. Definitely. So number 3 is Aardvark, 8-1 morning line. Asio Espinosa with the weight break is in the irons. You love that. Jerry Hollendorfer, it's a 12% win rate with first-time starters at a 12% of 64. So pretty good, decent with firsters. He does pretty decent with just about everything though. The works in the morning have been decent to really good, depending. A couple works back on July 27th at Los Alaminos had a really, really good work. Not as good here, but still, the look is pretty good. Number 4 is Music to My Ears, 5-2 morning line. Tyler Connor is the rider. Brian Corner is the trainer. He doesn't do necessarily very well with the first-time starters. He does do well with the turf to dirt, but this is a firster for him, and not necessarily known for it, but it's a very good trainer. Has had some really unbelievable works in the morning. This horse is the talk of the works in the morning. So with Golden Sense and the bloodlines, this horse has a big chance, and I love Tyler Connor in the irons. Number 5 is Street Image. Street Image is 8-1 morning line. Joe Talamo's in the irons with Michael Mikowski as the trainer. Michael Mikowski does really well with first-time starters. He does a clip at 19. I'm sorry. First timers, 12% out of 24. I'm sorry. Hector Obama does really well. Michael Mikowski isn't quite as good, but Street Sense is in the bloodlines. Big Brown is also in the bloodlines. So you like Street Image's chances. Works have been really good, especially on the 3rd of August at Del Mar. Very fast. So take a peek at him. Number 6 is 10-1 Gray Magician by Gradar. Johannesburg horse. Works have been very solid, above average works. Hector Opama is really good with first-time starters. Tiago Pereira is in the irons. 120 for all these horses as far as the weight goes, but give that horse a big look at 10-1 morning line especially. Glaber, another Golden Sense horse, is the 7 horse. 10-1 morning line. Rafael Bejarano and Doug O'Neill team up again. I like when these two team up. Doug O'Neill doesn't really do great with first-time starters. He does great with everything else, it seems like. But you get this kind of a jockey-trainer combo with a horse that's been working just as well as Glaber has. And you never know what's going to happen with a field of 10 first-time starters. Number 8 is My Mandate. 7-2 morning line. Works have been pretty darn strong in the morning. Mark Glatt doesn't necessarily specialize in first-time starters either. His horses usually need a race or two, but with Evan Roman in the irons, and like I said, Mark Glatt, you never know. That's a talented combo right there. Number 9 is Midnight Swap. 20-1 morning line. Kent DeSormo is in the irons for Keith DeSormo, as usual. This horse has Midnight Loot in his bloodline as his dad. So, has very good bloodlines, especially the sprinting bloodlines. Hasn't really perked up in the mornings as much as we'd like him to. So, for that reason, probably part of the reason why he's 20-1 morning line, and I'll probably leave him out. It doesn't seem like he's quite ready to understand the racing yet. And number 10, 3-1 Spin Lightning. Flavien Prat is aboard. Jeff Mullins is the trainer. Doesn't have as many horses as he used to, like maybe 5-10 years ago, but still a really good trainer. Knows how to definitely get the job done. This horse has been working really smartly in the morning. And Hard Spun is the dad, which Hard Spun was one of the best to ever do it. So Spin Lightning, definitely consider that. That horse is gonna be taking a lot of money at the window tomorrow. Alrighty, race 8. We're coming down to the wire here. Race number 8 is a mile on the turf. It's a claiming race, $50,000 to $45,000, and the purse is $48,000. Number 1 is 15-1 long shot Jimmy D. Love Jimmy D. Love the name Jimmy D. Herberto Figueroa is in the irons. James DeVito is the trainer. Source gets the weight break with Herberto Figueroa, and has been facing better and not really producing as he should. Was facing a little more restricted company. I'm sorry, he's facing worse. I said better. Was facing more restricted company. This is more open. But with the restrictions, wasn't performing well. And now opens up, which means there's more horses that can run in the race that are eligible. So that gives the horse less odds than before when there was restrictions. So that's sort of a step up in class, if you will. A good Beyer speed figure last out at 90, but I just don't know if I think this horse might be outclassed a little bit. Number 2 is 3-1 Shadow Sphinx. This horse is going to be my top bet here, probably. Flavien Prat is in the irons. Richard Baltas is the trainer. Coming out of an allowance, claiming $75,000 with restrictions. And then before that, a claiming $40,000 with some restrictions. 1-2 back, and then last start kind of fell off. And was just kind of held up way back in the pack. Going to come from behind here with one nice run, but going to be closer to the lead than he was the last time. Usually when he's closer to the lead, around 4th or 5th in the race, he runs his best race. So you'll probably see him around there. Works in the morning have been really solid. Yeah. So number 3 is Flip the Coin Jan. Flip the Coin Jan is a definite veteran. Run at Del Mar once. Has 8 starts in his career, and 5 of them have hit the board. So this horse is always in the mix. Doesn't win every time, but definitely will always be right there for you. And number 4 is Chosen Vessel. Chosen Vessel is 15-1 morning line with Joe Talamo in the irons. Craig DeLossie is the trainer. I haven't seen a ton of him this meet, but he's a really good trainer. Coming off a win. Last out by almost 5 lengths. Very impressive win in a maiden special weight 23,000. It's quite a step up. Not quite a step up, but a step up in class. And we'll definitely be up against it here. Number 5 is East Rand. Love this for you Randy Moss fans. Alonso Quinones is in the irons. Jeff Mullins is the trainer. Coming off a couple 5th place finishes and then a 2nd place finish before that. Hasn't won in a really long time. Looking to get back into the winning ways. Ran here on opening day, the day after opening day. And, you know, like I said, came 5th. Definitely taking a step down in class. The class relief should help. Its last win was a maiden special. Yeah, I don't know if it's been facing better, so we'll see if the class relief helps. But it's hard to say when the horse performs terribly against better horses. You hope that doesn't stick with him to the worse horses, which it shouldn't, but sometimes it does. These horses lose to better horses, but then they come back and start losing to worse horses. So we'll see. Definitely has a huge shot in here, though. Number 6 is For Him. 12-1 morning line. Edwin Maldonado is the rider. Philip D'Amato is the trainer. Coming out of some decent races at Santa Anita and was up north at Golden Gate for a little bit. I feel like this horse has a chance. Might be a little overmatched. Did pull out a win 3 starts back by a neck up north. Last win was up north. Always a horse coming down here from up north. I told you I tend to take a look a couple more times because of the competition level not quite as strong up there. Number 7 is Italiano. We all remember this horse because I was the first one to say I don't think this horse is going to win, and he did it impressively. And so, but won by a length and a half. And was very impressive that day. Obviously beat all of my picks. Horse takes a step up in class today. No, actually doesn't. Stays at the same level. Comes back at the same level. A little longer race. But with those Beyer speed figures last race, with Asiel Espinosa with the weight break, give this horse a big shot. I'm going to go from he's not going to win to the next race saying he's going to win. Give the 7 horse a big shot. Number 8 is Shane Zane. Shane Zane is ridden by Rafael Bejarano. And Doug O'Neill is the trainer. Been running in some better races. Definitely going to drop down a little bit here, which should help with the class relief. And going to change riders from Mario Gutierrez to Rafael Bejarano, keeping the same good riders aboard. 8-1 morning line. You like the price. Definitely give this horse a second look. And the morning works haven't been as great as we wish, but definitely good enough. Number 9 is Upo. 5-1 morning line, claiming 45,000. A little jump up in class after having a nice race last time. Loses Flavian Pratt. Drayden Van Dyke picks up the mount. Reading a little into Flavie leaving again for the other horse in this race, or not. That's up to you. Horse has 2 wins. Did win 3 starts back, and 4 starts back. And then did lose here at Del Mar on opening day. Very close race. Close, just couldn't do it in the end. So definitely give that horse a shot, although it does have the unfortunate event of having the outside post position on that race. Alrighty, the last race of the analysis, guys. We've made it. How do we feel? Do we feel ready for tomorrow? Beautiful. Let's do it. Race 9 is 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race. $50,000 for the claim. The purse is $30,000. These first 4 horses in here are first-time starters. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, first-time starters. Number 1 is Lucky Again, 20-1 morning line. Does have some really good works for a 20-1 morning line shot. But also has some not so great works on the front end, don't look too far into that. Michael Mikowski does pretty well with first time starters, about 12% clip, only throws out about 24, and so that's a pretty good clip. Don't ignore that with Tiago Pereira in the irons. So don't make sure you give him a second look, even though he's 20-1. Number 2 is Give Me a Hint, 5-1 morning line. Kent Desormeaux is riding for Bob Hess, and I really like this horse. This horse has some decent works in the morning, and you don't really want to look to Bob Hess for a first-time starter winner necessarily, but I do really like this horse. The bloodlines are good, and I feel like this horse might have the not right on the rail, has a little bit off the rail by one horse. I think that'll help him, and definitely give that horse a second look. Number 3 is Sky Babe. Sky Babe is 8-1 morning line with Heriberto Figueroa in the irons. Got that weight break with him in the irons, which probably always helps a younger horse. Bill Morey is the trainer. Works have been stupendous, especially this last work, very impressive. Was scratched out of a race here a couple days ago for a reason was unavailable. So it's a little interesting, but you never know. Maybe actually it was a legit reason. Number 4 is Catholic. 20-1 morning line, the last of our first-time starters here in this race, 1 through 4. Edgar Payeras is in the irons. Matthew Chu is the trainer. Blue Gas Cat is the dad. Tiz Now is the father of his mother. Great bloodlines. Has been not the greatest works in the morning, not a great morning horse. But you like the bloodlines, and Matthew Chu doesn't do very terrible at all with first-time starters at the moment at 33% clip. All right, let's get on some horses with some experience here. Number 5 is She's a Dime. Love the name. She's a Dime has 1 race. Martin Garcia was aboard for that one as well. Reed Saldana is the trainer, by the way. That was a maiden claiming $50,000 race. Struggled, had to go 4 wide. Didn't get the best trip, and so hoping that a race under her belt and a little bit better luck on the racetrack. She's a Dime should do a lot better this time. All right, number 6 is Athleisure. Sorry, had to think about that one for a second. Athleisure is 4-1 morning line. Rafael Bejarano's in the irons. Michael Mikowski is the trainer. Once again, this horse has 1 start in his career. Raf stays aboard for his 2nd start. Maiden special weight 60,000 was his first race. Not a good race. Take a step down here in class. That was just too much for him. And works haven't been great. But I think the class relief with that whole race experience will definitely be in this horse's corner for sure. Number 7 is Pretty Hussar. 3-1 morning line. Flavian Prat aboard. Hector Opalma is the trainer. Hector Palma does pretty darn well with young horses. I really like what he does with them. With Flavian aboard, you can't go wrong there. Works have been mediocre to decent. Doesn't show much in the morning, but does show some ability and some awareness. And so with that and Flavian Pratt aboard, you obviously can't overlook that horse too much. Number 8 is Gracie Bell. 9-2 morning line. Gary Sherlock is the trainer. Asiel Espinosa is the rider. So you get the rider, the weight break there. This horse has one race under his belt too. Asa was in the irons that time too. Lost by 7 lengths. It was at Los Al in early July. It was a maiden claiming $50,000 race. And been working really, really well since. Had a really good work here at Del Mar. Watch Gracie Bell. Gracie Bell is going to be live in this race. Number 9 is Spicy Curry. Spicy Curry's 8-1 morning line. Edwin Maldonado is the jockey with Vladimir Surin as the trainer. This horse has just one start as well. Asa Espinosa was on this one before. Jumps off to the 8 horse. And Edwin picks up the mount here. Maiden claiming $50,000 race last time out, came in 7th. It was on July 22nd here. This horse is coming back about 2.5 weeks or so layoff. That's not too short, not terrible. I just don't know if I'm gonna really jump on this horse's bandwagon. The works haven't really been great. I wish he would show more interest in the morning, so I'll probably jump off just like Asa did. Number 10 is 30-1, Great Salvation. Brian Pena is the rider. Santos Perez is the trainer. This horse has the most experience in the race, with 3 races experience. No wins, obviously. Definitely been not very interested in any of his races. He gets the outside post. So maybe keeps him on track, not feeling squished by other horses. Maybe that's the positive for the 10. But I don't really see this horse having too much of a chance tomorrow. So that is that. Let's cheers. Cheers to life as we know it. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Stay tuned. At some point in the morning, hopefully before 8 or 9 o'clock, my picks video will be posted, kind of culminating all the analysis we just went over with some picks and some hopeful winners tomorrow. All right, guys. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and let's get it tomorrow. Good night.